Gina and I are doing a date later. Chris did a bunch of schoolwork this morning. And then he got rewarded, I guess, prematurely because then he started to brat out. So we'll just have to change how we do that. And let's see.
And then we'll put them back on when you're done.
His dad is doing some PE stuff with him, and I'm making lunch.
Drink. Take a sip. In here.
And next week, he does everything that he needs to do. He already knows that we will go to the zoo on Thursday and have our own little field trip. And there will be a lesson in that. But also it'll be a good family outing too. So. Still kind of looking for, I don't know, still looking into groups of people who homeschool. I mean smaller groups. Not just the organized stuff, but I mean the smaller, more community-based, these people homeschool and they're looking, it takes a little bit to get established there, and I'm still working on that. Because, you go through them, and you're like, well, this one's religion, this one's gonna talk about religion, and you're like, well, we're not doing this because we're doing this for religion, we're doing this because it's just better for Chris. That's it. But the site that he does his online stuff on, apparently they call people like us accidental homeschoolers. Because this was not originally part of our original plan, homeschooling. So, yeah. I am making orange chicken. I am cooking the nice small pieces of breaded chicken. I admit, I'm using and testing out a package of frozen chicken. Probably something that would give heart attacks to chefs everywhere. But I'd originally gotten it with the anticipation of using it on a day that, is me and Chris while his dad was at work. So I guess we'll see what it tastes like. I mean, his dad wanted to know what it tasted like, so we're going to see how it is. Hi, honey.
Hi. Going back outside to do some more running.
More laps?
Yes, this time he's going to go the long way.
Okay, not too close to the fence though, honey.
I know, I'm telling him not to go all the way to the fence. Don't touch the fence.
Okay.
When I was playing with my ball, I had a competition. It's my ball. Who was going to touch the
Shoe socks on.
metal ball? Who's the winner?
So yeah,
I was winning a bunch.
he did most of his language arts for the week in like the span of a couple hours. So yeah, he got some pretty good grades. Most of it was hundreds and 180 on one test. He did a lot, actually, especially since this is an accelerated path that we have him on. So there's already like a ton more work in here. We're cramming entirety of second grade into 3 months. So whenever I say he's done a week's worth of work, he's done a week's worth of work. 6 assignments in a day is a slow day for him. And then he's still got time to go out and play with other kids in the afternoon, after the other kids get home from school too. So the thing of it is that he's so enthusiastic about this. He's probably gonna hate it whenever I slow him down, because all I'm making sure is that, all the gaps from second grade are filled in. Because there are some things that whenever he ran into them, he didn't know them, and he picked them up pretty quickly. and they just weren't part of what was taught in second grade, even though it's part of second grade curriculum. Either because, they just hadn't done it yet, or because they just hadn't done it. And, there were some things I had to cover last year with him during the summer, because in first grade they didn't cover it. And, it's pretty much been a theme every year. So one of the things we did was had him go through all the second grade stuff. Now, whenever we go into the third grade stuff, we're going to have it go slower, because he's not going to be dealing with a bunch of stuff that he already knows. I mean, he might deal with some that he already knows, but, it's not going to be expecting him to do it in 3 months.
Shoe socks off, horse sheds, and the degree.
He knows most of it already. That's why he's in an accelerated path to begin with.
This is trying to get underneath the cabinets.
Which one?
Gorgeous. First she tried this one, and then she tried this one over here.
Alright.
Thank you. Go wash your hands. We'll get you great.
So, anyway, yeah. Hi, Kenny.
Hi.
I can see you.
Yeah, well, now you can't.
He's camera shy. Yeah. He's not. He's not camera shy. So, he's been doing pretty good. But our plan is to get him through the rest of second grade stuff by the end of December, and by January to have him working on third grade. And Chris is happy with this plan. Like, there are some things, though, that he's already on at third grade level, so that's why we're actually doing this. All we're doing is making sure that anything from second grade that didn't get covered, that we've covered it. And that we've recapped anything that needs recapping, so that we can move on to third grade stuff, where a lot of the stuff that he does is at that level anyway. So... yeah, he reads at easily a 4th grade level. But he hates language arts. So that's the so some of the stuff he's gonna be on a 3rd grade level. Some of the stuff we just want to make sure that everything's covered and everything. Nice, well-rounded, cover all the gaps, any gaps that are there, and then move on. We know he's super smart, so that's why we're doing it. But also, I remember whenever I was a kid, before they medicated me stupid, there were always things that, like, they kind of just expected me to know because I knew other things. Like, they wanted me in accelerated programs and all that because I was a genius kid. I graduated high school with an IQ 3 points lower than what I was in kindergarten. And I graduated with an higher average IQ from high school. So let's just cover this real quick. They wanted to put me in an accelerated program, a very special program. And whenever I was going into 1st grade, and my mom said no. Because it's just better for me socially to stay with kids my own age. And then a bunch of shit happened. They completely destroyed me socially. And caused a lot of problems. My mom had already been helping me out and explaining certain things. And then everything just turned up on its head, and boom. Big, giant piles of dung all over any progress I made socially. So, straight sucks. And they didn't even care. There was absolutely nothing there that actually was supportive. There was plenty there so that they could feel like they were supportive in doing something, but there wasn't a lot that actually did anything.
Okay.
Yeah. Cauliflower, carrots, and cauliflower, carrots, and broccoli going in.
That sounds good.
How did he do? Well, that's good. I knew he could. We do our own little PE here too. I've showed him a couple of the tricks that I use. The hope is that he'll never have to need them, but if he ever does, well, he should be able to know the exercises that I've made and adopted too. It's always good to have a wide repertoire of things you can do. So anyway, that was totally supposed to be paused and wasn't, and I can't edit it, so I guess it's stuck. So, oh yeah. And stirred the rice. Anyway, yeah, he's doing good. We did an art project yesterday. He's done some PE with Dad today. We have our own stuff that we go through. I go through with the nutritional stuff and that we need to eat right, and I also go through them with some exercises that I do. Because Dad goes through them with stuff that he can do. You know, the high-impact stuff that I can't do, like the jumping jacks and stuff like that. I cannot do jumping jacks. I was actually banned from PE as a kid because I wasn't allowed to do stuff like that, because of all the issues that I have as far as that stuff goes. So yeah, this has been pretty much lifelong as far as that goes. But there was a lot I did anyway as a kid, and I can't really do that anymore. And while there are exercises that I've taught him and ways that I've taught him that I've gotten around these things that could actually potentially help him make some of these things easier on his joints and whatnot, if he ever needs to or just wants to. That's something I've done, and his dad runs him through the actual exercises, like for the stuff that I can't do, and I mean, I can tell him to do those, but his dad makes sure that, it's different, I guess. And I'm just glad that he can have that. So, his dad went through him with that, and I go through him with the nutrition and all that. So, yeah. They don't really have that so much on his online classes, so we cover what they don't. These are the core subjects. It's not really necessarily required to exist in homeschooling, or rather online schooling, or be accredited or otherwise. So it's kind of considered kind of elective. Like community, we're like, we want it there, but like the government is like, yeah, not really, doesn't have to be there. So it's kind of like that. Whenever you start getting into homeschooling, though, you have to cover that whenever these classes don't. And the plan is to get them into the community center where they have some classes and see if there isn't like a weekend class you can take that can also teach you more. It's kind of like the hold my hand, walk with me, and then go further than me concept. I guess another interesting thing is that we don't really see Chris's issue with authority figures at home. Yes, we're authority figures. He knows that he's supposed to listen to us, but we don't really see this at home. He has a problem with it at school, not really at daycare. He never had that problem at daycare whenever he was there. He never really had that problem with his uncle or anything else like that. So, I mean, I don't really know what to say, because the only place that we've even seen this issue is at school. He doesn't have that problem whenever school is home too. Whenever home becomes school too. He doesn't have that issue. In general, we're kind of still getting in the routine so that we can get him to get his second win before the other kids come home from school in the neighborhood, so that he can kind of go out and continue getting to know them and making friends, which he's actually doing really good at. I'm really proud of him. I'm very proud of him. He's doing very good at making friends. There's some kids across the street he was playing with yesterday. I was sitting outside watching him. Yeah. They were just sort of playing in the driveway across the street. It was nice. We've already, though, gone over no going into anybody's houses. We need to meet with their parents. We need to, know who you're with, when you're with them. color us strict, but we love him and we don't want anything to happen to him. So we actually want to have an idea of like who these people are, if he's going to be going into their house and playing with their kids. It also like sort of gives us an excuse to know people that are in the neighborhood. And I'm not gonna lie, I can be incredibly shy about that. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I kind of have to. And we just want to know, where is he? Who is he with? What do they like? Are they trustworthy? We want to at least get a feel for them. And also exchange contact information in case something happens. Like, yeah. We know at least one house on the block has you hear things from kids. There's a trampoline somewhere, and no. He's already been told no trampoline. This kid, that's all he needs. He needs a trampoline like a hole in the head. So we don't have one. But, he's already been told no trampoline. But that's the thing whenever kids are out there playing. Sometimes things that we tell them not to, we know at some point he's probably gonna try and pull a fast one. That's what kids do. I hate to say this, but that is absolutely what kids do. And I can name several times off the top of my head that is exactly what we did as kids. We pulled a fast one. We learned our mom's blind spots, and we exploited them extensively. There's not a person alive that didn't do that as a kid. So, I've already explained to Chris, part of our job is not just to teach him right from wrong, but also to make sure that he lives to become an adult, and possibly regret some of the decisions that he's made. Or not. Who knows? It's up to him. So, yeah. As you can see, there's still a couple items that haven't made their way to where they need to be yet. We're sort of at that part of unpacking, where you're still kind of organizing things. Yeah. Hey, that part of cooking. Patience. The part Chris hates the most. No, he likes helping. But he doesn't really like the part where he has to actually wait for the food. So, yeah. Jean sent him in to have a break. Because, Chris likes to get up really early in the morning. So, he gets a lot done. And then, he doesn't... Yeah, he's just an early bird, as far as that goes. Naturally, he's just an early bird. So this is actually easier for him. This is easier and kind of better. And we're just finding different ways and kind of feeling our way around it, getting getting our routine in place. And, yeah. I mean, he's already adjusted to the new house, and he loves it, and he's got all his toys and all that in his room, and all his clothes are put away, and he loves the shelves. Like, the landlord actually thought that he was going to have to take out the shelves. He's like, just tell me how many I need to take out for him to get it, fit all his clothes, hang up his clothes. And we're like, well, you can just hang them in our closet. We hardly hang anything. So, he doesn't really have much that hangs. Just a couple nice outfits that, who wasn't raised to have a couple of those? Even I have something if I never wear it, and even if I never wear it. Granted, I have worn it, but, I almost never have an opportunity to wear it. I've straight up worn this thing to bed. It's a dress. So, yeah. So Jean and I are gonna go on a date to Denny's tonight while, Chris is going to stay here and have dinner. I'm gonna make something for him ahead of time so that all they have to do is put it in the microwave and feed him. The warning to sit with him stands, because if you walk, you can't walk away while this kid is eating. He will get ideas while you are gone. He also likes to have a meal with you, so that's good too. It's also normal. So, yeah. But I've seriously walked away before and found spaghetti sauce on the wall. Granted, it's been a while, but it sort of just makes you leery of walking away. It didn't happen here, but it was probably over a year ago, 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, but you never quite forget it. Once you have cleaned spaghetti sauce up that has been flung at the walls just because you turned your back, you tend to not want to turn your back. Chris!
Pick up your toys.
Honey, do you want salad with it, or do you just want it as is?
As is. Salad would be good.
After I put the veggies in it, some of it wasn't as crunchy as I wanted it to be. So probably best if I had done it from scratch to begin with.
Sorry.
No, it's not your fault. I got those to kind of see how it was, and as sort of a quick thing to do whenever it was me and Chris. But I figured it would be nice. I agreed with you. It would be nice to try it together, so. Sweet and sour sauce.
Yeah.
I love a good sweet and sour sauce.
Yeah.
I should learn how to make it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's one of the few sauces I don't know how to make because it's
Yeah.
Asian. And
Yeah.
some of the sauces, the only American versions
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
exist are mix this sauce with this sauce after you buy it off of the shelf. And
Yeah.
I actually want to know how to make it.
Mm-hmm.
Not mix soy sauce with this sauce and
Some sauces are not with the actual Asian dishes.
yeah, but they actually like. I
what
want
you're
to know
talking
how to
about.
make the sauces to make the sauces. Okay.
Soy sauce is known as fermentation of soybeans, I believe.
Well, maybe I want to know how to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm getting time for the neighbor kids to be getting home and doing their homework and stuff. You got one piece of chicken was overdone. What do you think? Now,
Come here, kitty.
we're basically waiting on the rice.
Mhm.
I made some brown rice.
You picking up your toys? Hurry up.
Oh!
Where would I be?
Yeah, I saw this before I even picked it
How
up.
was it you tip?
Forgot
Where would
to.
I be?
In my desk, where they have always been,
In which drawer?
left where it has always been.
On the left side, you have your art supplies. There it is. I didn't have to that all the way.
Like, your paint is here. No, wait, nope, it's here. Yeah, I forgot to pause it again. Oh well. Now I guess it's out there. I like sweet and sour sauce. And I don't know how to make it from scratch. But I'd like to. So, I'll probably end up going on some recipes, learning how to make them from scratch can be a journey in of itself, because most of the recipes that pop up whenever you look for it are like, mix this sauce with this sauce to make this sauce, and some of them are actually very simple to make, like spaghetti sauce. It's put a little bit of oil in a pan, then put your garlic. If you've got some other fresh stuff, you might put that in too. And then you go with your tomatoes, and you sort of progress from there. It also depends on whether you're making a quick sauce or you want a sauce that takes longer and has sort of a deeper flavor. Which would be the sauce that I learned from my grandmother. There's also sauce.
Barbecue.
Are you in my kitchen without asking?
Well, just don't scratch me.
You know the line to stand at. Nope. You were whining at me earlier. You're getting a little bit too close to the stove. Sorry, I reminded him. It's hot and I don't want him to get burned, so I'm not above using that. What you two doing in there?
We're sitting here waiting for dinner. I mean lunch. Whatever you call it.
You're acting like it's been forever.
It has been forever.
It has been forever.
Yeah.
Chris, whose job is it to set the table?
Me.
What do you think we need?
Forks.
Yep, we need 3 forks.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3.
Should have added more broccoli into this instead of just using a mix of veggies that you used.
Do we need more help?
You know what I need, honey?
What?
I need you.
To take that to the table?
Yep, and put it at your spot. Then I need you to come back.
Oh.
Do you want to carry Daddy's bowl?
Yes, please. Carry Daddy's bowl. Where's Daddy's bowl?
Give me a minute. Let's put some nice on. Your dad's already complaining when he's podcast. All these salad and vegetables.
Like the meat.
The meat is not salad and vegetables.
The meat is meat.
Yep. The meat is proteins.
Okay.
Think you can take this to your dad? It's extra full. I'll probably still want a second.